My name is Ruth, and I'm always exhausted. I have 2 children, a husband, and a job that drains everything from me. My husband works long hours, and I work as a secretary in a downtown office. We barely speak anymore, not from anger, but from pure tiredness. Every evening feels the same. We exist in the same house, but live separate lives. My real problem is my boss, Mr. Eldon. He piles more work on me than anyone else in the office. Almost every night, he asks me to stay late. He always says the deadlines are urgent, that I'm the only one he can rely on. Sometimes I find him drinking alone in his office. Other times he falls asleep at his desk while I'm still there, typing documents and sorting endless files. I watch the clock move painfully slow. I imagine my children eating dinner without me. I picture my husband sitting silently at home, waiting for someone who never arrives on time. I've thought about quitting more times than I can count. Then I remember the rent, the school fees, the groceries. Fear keeps me trapped. So I stay, night after night, watching my life slip away under fluorescent office lights. One evening, Mr. Eldon asked me to stay extremely late. He said important documents needed finishing. I watched him pour himself another drink, his words becoming slower and heavier. I kept working. Eventually, he passed out on the sofa in his office. I covered him with his coat and continued typing. That night, on the bus home, I cried quietly in the back seat. A week later, everything shifted. He called me into his office and told me about a 3-day conference in Chicago. He said I had to accompany him. My heart sank. I told him I needed time to think. Then he mentioned a promotion and a raise. Those words silenced every objection forming in my mind. I agreed before I could stop myself. When I told my husband, he simply nodded. He said it would be good for my career, but there was no warmth in his voice, no smile on his face. Something in his eyes looked distant and worried. The conference was overwhelming. The hotel felt cold and unfamiliar. Meetings consumed entire days. Company dinners filled the evenings. On the second night, I drank more wine than I should have. My mind kept drifting home to my children, to my husband, to the life I was missing. I looked across the table at Mr. Eldon. He was drinking heavily too. Our eyes met and he smiled. Then everything became blurry. The room started spinning. After that, I remember nothing. I woke up confused and disoriented. The ceiling above me was unfamiliar. Panic flooded through me instantly. I quickly checked myself. My clothes were still on. Everything seemed untouched. Then the door opened. Mr. Eldon walked in. I froze completely. He spoke softly, almost gently. He explained that I had fainted and he couldn't leave me alone in that condition. He promised that nothing happened. I wanted to believe him. I needed to believe him. But believing someone doesn't erase the fear crawling through your body. When I returned home, I felt like I was carrying stones in my chest. My children ran to hug me tightly. My husband stood behind them, watching it. I couldn't meet his eyes. Guilt covered me like a shadow, even though I had done nothing wrong. 2 days later, my world collapsed. Mr. Eldon's wife appeared at the office. She was calm on the surface, but her eyes were sharp and knowing. She had discovered the hotel records. She had seen the room numbers. She knew I had spent the night in her husband's room. The truth didn't matter to her. The appearance was enough. Rumors spread like fire through the office. People stared at me differently. Whispers followed me down every hallway. Somehow, the news reached my husband. That evening, he didn't come home. One night passed, then another. I didn't sleep. I replayed every moment, every decision. I blamed myself for drinking, for trusting, for being naive. On the third day, he finally returned. He looked older, worn down. We sat together at the kitchen table. I told him everything slowly and clearly. I didn't cry or raise my voice. I explained exactly what happened and what didn't happen. He listened without interruption. Then he stood up and walked away without saying a single word. That silence hurt more than any accusation could have. Life continued moving forward, but nothing felt the same. My husband stayed, but he was different. He spoke less. He avoided looking directly at me. We shared the same house, the same bed, but we weren't together anymore. My mother-in-law started visiting more frequently. She never said anything directly, but her disapproving looks spoke volumes. At work, Mr. Eldon quietly resigned. His marriage fell apart. Mine was crumbling too. I kept my job because I needed it, but I felt smaller every day. The weight of judgment pressed down on me constantly. I've learned that some mistakes aren't about what you actually do. They're about the choices that seem harmless at the time. I wanted to feel valued and important. I wanted recognition for my hard work. That desire cost me my peace, my husband's trust, and the warmth that once filled our home. Now we move through our days carefully, like strangers sharing space. We eat meals together. We sleep side by side. But something essential is missing. Love didn't disappear entirely, but trust became thin and fragile. Some things, once quietly broken, never fully heal. We live in the ruins of what we used to be, and I wonder every day if we'll ever find our way back to each other, or if this careful distance is all we have left.